Man, I have no intro. I have no outro for this video. I haven't been around in a while. Been working on 2 YouTube channels. Been kind of crazy, and it's been nuts. I've been wanting to go over a lot of films and haven't had the time to. But we're gonna go over Halloween Ends. All spoilers, okay? I've already watched it in theaters. I came home and watched it again on Peacock. I want to give my thoughts on this film, okay? I don't think this is the worst Halloween movie I've ever seen, but man, did they go a different route in this film, okay? I'm a Halloween fanboy, so I do take things seriously, but I'm not overcritical about some things because I think every Halloween movie we've seen, besides the original, always could be better, okay? But this one right here, David Gordon Green really went a different direction, okay? Really about the Strodes, Allison, Laurie Strode, and them trying to kind of move on with their lives 4 years later after the retirement party of Halloween Kills and what Michael Myers did in that film, okay? This is 4 years later. Michael's not in the headlines, and you're dealing with pretty much a family trying to get better and better than their lives and live normal lives. Lori, Jesus, trying to live a normal life, go shopping, decorate her house, trying to celebrate Halloween and trying to be more positive about it. But as soon as we go uphill with Lori, everything starts to go down. Corey Cunningham, I have to say, was a really interesting character. I actually liked him. The acting in this movie was pretty damn good. I ain't gonna lie. Compared to this trilogy, I thought acting-wise, I thought the dialogue in this film was the best. The cinematography in this film was the best I have ever seen. Okay. Corey Cunningham getting blamed for Jeremy's death. Little Jeremy that fell off the top of the staircase when he kicked the door open, hit Jeremy, and he fell over and died. I mean, that really scared the crap out of me right in front of his parents, okay? Got away with manslaughter. It was an accident. We all know that. And then, these kids pick on him at the gas station from Haddonfield High School. They cut his hand, or he cuts his hand from, breaking that glass of chocolate milk he had in his hand. And then meeting Allison, and Allison takes a lot of interest in him because, they're both normal people just with issues trying to get their life back on track. And I guess she was very attracted to that. And so they started hanging out. They went to a Halloween party. He leaves the Halloween party because he sees the mother of the kid that he accidentally killed there, and she was saying a lot of stuff towards him. So he left, leaves Allison there, gets picked on by those same kids that pulled up when he was walking on the side of the road over this bridge, which lies under what we're about to come to next when he falls off, when he was thrown over the bridge, and he fell on the ground, and you just see his body move. Michael Myers moves his body into the sewers. He wakes up. He doesn't know where the hell he's at. He starts walking around, and then he meets Michael Myers for the first time with his hand wrapped around Corey's throat. And then they look into each other's eyes, and from what I've seen, they show a lot of flashbacks of what Corey did, but what Michael has done as well. So I guess what I'm taking from that is that Michael is pretty much seeing what Corey has done, transferring some type of evil into him, I guess, in some aspect. I guess you see the buildup of what Michael has become, but at the same time, Corey is kind of building himself more fearless, more determined, more angry. Just seemed like that through the film. He was getting more evil throughout the film. Michael let him go out of the tunnel, which I didn't really understand after the first time watching it, but I guess Corey is doing Michael's bidding. But then finding out later, Michael Myers is so vulnerable. I've never felt so bad. I felt bad for Michael Myers in this film because even when Corey Corey was being followed by this cop that obviously has been hitting on Allison, and I'm going to be missing some things in this film. I'm going to jump to as much as possible, but was hitting on Allison. He stood up for Alice. He stood up for Allison in front of that cop in a diner when they were, the cop was trying to celebrate a birthday. He was hitting on Allison, not caring that Corey was with her, and Corey kind of got in his face. And really, after that moment, that cop was following Corey, and Corey led him to Michael Myers in the sewers, kind of as bait. And he was laughing, and he was just so evil. The cop goes into that sewer following Corey, and, he's got the flashlight. He's looking around, and Corey is just standing there in the main chamber of the sewer, kind of waiting for Michael to come out, kind of feeding Michael. Okay. And Michael comes out, and he looks so weak. He can't even walk. I mean, this is 4 years later after Halloween Kills, so he's not in the headlines. He just looked a lot weaker, so vulnerable. He couldn't even walk, and Corey is just helping him, just I guess feeding him power in some way. Corey was holding the cop down while Michael was stabbing him, but each time that Michael was stabbing him while Corey was kind of holding his arms back for Michael to get some free shots on him, it seemed like he was getting stronger for some reason. You saw Michael Myers, he was kind of like shaking, and he was kind of like, he was looking more upright. He was getting healthier. He was just getting more healed. We're not going to find out the mythology of this character. It's just never going to happen. I think that's the whole point. I think the whole point of these scenes is that they want fans to talk, and we're never going to find out why this is the case. Hence why I think this movie is a fail in some ways, because of the plot point. There's no plot point to this film. I feel like they were on track to something really special, and then it kind of fell off a little bit. So Michael kept stabbing the cop each and every time, and he kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Okay, until he fully, because really when Michael came out before he stabbed the cop, he couldn't even walk. I mean, so I'm feeling like Michael killing, he feeds more evil off of it, and he gets stronger off of it, and he's getting his energy back. Because, guys, in Halloween Kills, he got messed up. He got shot. He got stabbed a billion times. He was burnt. I mean, he went through a lot in that film. And for 4 years, not killing anything for 4 years, okay, that's why he was that weak. It was hard to watch him this week because he's such a powerful character. Now with Corey helping him, I still don't get why he helped him. I think it's part of Michael. Michael was kind of using Corey, I think, to kind of get Michael back on his feet and to help him get to where he has to be health-wise. And I think that was the case, especially later in the film as well, where Corey goes back in to kill these high school kids that have been picking on him. They killed a radio tower guy. He goes back in the cave to go get the sewer to go get Michael Myers' mask. He literally fights with Michael over the mask. They tackle each other, and Michael just won't kill him still. Michael is still using him. And he finally gets the mask. He knocks Michael down. He gets the mask, and, he already has the jumpsuit on because Corey Cunningham works at a garage. He's a mechanic, so he's already got the jumpsuit. So, to protect his identity or whatever the case may be, he became the copycat killer, killed all those high schoolers, killed the radio tower guy that's been talking a lot of crap throughout the film about Michael Myers. We've seen this radio tower since 2018, since that film, and we've wondered what was going on with that. And that guy was talking a lot of crap about Michael Myers, and really the town of Haddonfield and all that stuff. So he kills pretty much Corey Cunningham as Michael in the mask, kind of kills everybody. And then really later on, I actually liked the stalking scene with Michael, and Michael was when Laurie was getting out of her car. We saw it in the trailer, that shot as well. I thought that was pretty cool. But we haven't really seen a stalking Michael Myers in this new trilogy, and it was really nice to bring that back, which I really did like, even though it was for 2 seconds. So obviously, I'm going to skip a little bit ahead to Laurie. Oh, actually, no. I'll go to the next kill the redheaded chick that took Allison's job away, took her promotion away, and she's been doing some shit with the doctor. So the doctor invites the redheaded chick over his house, and he goes out. She's gonna take a shower. He goes out on the patio where the pool is. It's nighttime, and she comes out. He hears somebody moved, or not screaming, but she hears something that's going on outside. So she stops the shower. She goes outside in her robe, and Corey Cunningham is literally killing this doctor with, a plastic bag over his head with, I don't know if it was a knife or a piece of glass, pretty much. So she locks Corey out of the house, not to know that Michael Myers is inside the house when she's trying to call the police. As that's happening, Michael throws the girl to the wall, stabs her like we've seen in the trailer, and just kind of looks at her. And Corey is outside while he's killing her, and he like unwraps his hand where he had those stitches from where he broke his glass. And I don't know, he unwrapped his hand, he put his hand on the glass watching Michael kill this girl. And I need to figure it out more. I don't know if it's because it's making both of them stronger. I still got to figure it out. Even that scene I was kind of confused about it a little bit, but maybe somebody can make more sense of me in the comment section to this video about that scene. And then we kind of skip later on where Laurie, Allison wants to move away with, with Corey, and Laurie sees Michael. Laurie sees something in Corey Cunningham, and he's the look on him and kind of warning her, like, I see Michael in his eyes, like there's something wrong with him. And obviously Allison's not believing any of it. So after all it's said and done, you get to that final, pretty much not the final scene, but at least the big fight between Laurie and Michael. Okay, even before that happens, when Laurie says she's gonna kill herself, she calls the cops on the suicide, and she wants to say that she, called in the cops about a suicide. She takes a gun out of a locker, out of a safe that she unlocks, and then looking like she's gonna kill herself, which I'm like, there's no way this is gonna happen. And to kind of fake it and say that she shot a pumpkin. As Corey is opening Laurie's door in the Michael Myers mask, in the jumpsuit, and she shoots Corey like 3-4 times. He falls down off the stairs to the middle ground floor of the house, and she pretty much tells him, like, that she could have protected him or something like that. She could have, that he's never gonna have Allison. So Corey starts laughing, and nobody, is going to have her but me. And he stabs himself with the knife right in the neck to kind of, I guess, make Laurie look more crazy and her to be the blame. But as Allison is walking through the door after Laurie took the knife out of Corey's neck, and they're all standing there, and Allison is just like, thought she killed him, that Laurie killed Corey. And it just gets crazy. She leaves the house, and all of a sudden Michael must have walked from the sewers to go reclaim his mask as Laurie was not paying attention, and he tries to get his knife off the ground. Corey all of a sudden is alive for a half a second, where Michael goes over him and pretty much says, I don't need you anymore. Grabs his head, twists it, and he's totally dead. Puts his mask on, already has the mask on, grabs the knife, and then Laurie is sensing that he is in the house. And obviously we've seen the scene with Laurie hiding in the bathroom, and she turns the microwave on, and then Michael is running around, walking around the kitchen, and this is where pretty much the whole fight happens. This fight was pretty good. Michael sounds so weak in this film. I mean, the breathing, and he's got that heavy breathing. Good job by Nick Castle, by the way, on that. And she's hiding in the closet. She hits him with the fire extinguisher. They're fighting for a bit, and then she kind of pins him down with a knife to the hand, and then grabs a pan and really plants the knife in his hand further and further into the kitchen table, plants a knife in his other hand, can't move, and takes his mask off and cuts his neck, cuts his wrist, let the blood just flow right out of him. Lays the refrigerator on his legs, kind of pins him. He's got nowhere to go. Then Hawkins shows up, the cops show up, and then they take Michael's body. This is gonna be the part where I'm like, what the hell's going on? Allison's like, this isn't enough. I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm thinking maybe it's decapitation, but we'll see. They take his body to where Corey actually worked, to the meat grinder. And pretty much all of Haddonfield is following them. I mean, they tied Michael Myers up on top of the car. You have all the cops, everybody, even the whole town of Haddonfield is literally following the cops and following Michael. That's literally tied up on the top of this car, okay, on top of their car. They get to the junkyard, and that's pretty much it. They lay him into the meat grinder, they turn it on, and they literally meat grinded and disposed Michael Myers' body. I said to myself, I am shocked that was the ending. Not the final ending, but as Michael Myers and what happens to him, meat grinder. I'm shocked over that. I'm actually kind of disappointed over that a little bit, because this is not the final Halloween movie. From what we know so far, we've heard no news, but if this was the final Halloween movie, this is the final Halloween movie to this story. Okay? I feel like they're going to make some other stories. I would have liked for this Michael Myers to kind of continue on. I know James Jude Courtney that he's not going to be playing Michael Myers ever again unless it's with a really good director, as he mentioned. And, obviously you add more money to a couple more zeros to his paycheck. He'll likely come back. But yeah, I'm still not over that last scene with Michael getting chopped up into bits. I'm not over it at all. I watched this movie twice, and when it comes to Corey Cunningham, loved his character. Laurie loved it. Allison was great. The acting was great. Cinematography, great. The plot point, they're not going to tell us anything, and I think that's one problem. Corey should have been introduced earlier in this trilogy and kind of build himself up a little bit. And Michael Myers just barely being in this film, I didn't mind it because I thought we were gifted Michael Myers so much in Halloween Kills. He got so fucked up in that movie. Shot, stabbed, burnt, you name it, kicked, punch. I mean, he was so fucked up in this movie. Like, he was so vulnerable and weak, and he was still weak even at 100%. He used Corey. He put evil into Corey and used him to help Michael just give himself purpose and to kind of bring himself to be the killer that he knows he is, because Michael was in the sewers for 4 years to die. He wasn't there to kill again. He was there to die. He gave himself an opportunity to put evil into Corey Cunningham and really just make him evil and let him do his bidding for Michael, and it worked. And when he didn't need Corey anymore, that was it. It's tough for me to watch something like that because Michael, he's got no feelings or purpose to save someone, to use them. Like, it's a different Michael we definitely see in this film. It's very different. That ending really, it bothered me a little bit. It really did. Like, I could say if they buried him, it would make more sense. If they buried him, I'd be a little happier because then I know that maybe he could come back. But how are you supposed to continue this Halloween franchise? Another story? A totally different story? You're going to retell? I don't know what you're going to do here. I really don't. And then really the final ending to this film, Laurie's not dead. I thought she was going to die in this film. I thought Jamie Lee Curtis was, I mean, she sounded like she was pretty much done. She's done playing this part of Laurie Strode. This whole entire thing is over with, but I thought she was actually going to die. Forgot to mention, too, when Michael was pinned to the kitchen table, he actually ripped the knife. He actually ripped the knife off his hand, and his hand was like half cut, and she was choking Laurie until Allison came in to, kind of rip his arm. And as she was being choked, I thought that's where she was going to die. She was seeing flashbacks of everything that happened in her life with Michael. And kind of end in that little thing where they're kind of holding hands with the blood just pouring out of Michael. Kind of like we were going to get that love. This movie was a love story to Michael and Laurie and for all that they have been through. And I really did like that part a lot. I thought the fight was fantastic. I thought that ending part to the fight was pretty cool before they take him and they, make some Michael Myers cheeseburgers out of him. It was tough. It was really fucking tough to watch, man. I was like, what? And you just see James Jude Courtney's body just get grinded up, and I'm just like, why? They could have done anything else. That really bothered me, and I don't know why. So, and then you have Hawkins that goes to Laurie's house and gives her all these vegetables, and and just making sure that knows that he's still there for her. He's still in love with her, obviously. I mean, I think they still love each other, and the final act was kind of showing shots of each room in Laurie's house. And then the last shot was seeing Michael's mask on her living room or kitchen. I think it was the living room table or her office table, wherever that it was at. And then it cut. Movie was over. So, if I have to say anything about this, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I didn't absolutely love it, but I don't think it's the worst film. I think the cinematography was good. I thought the acting was really well, but the plot points is where I have an issue with it, where it comes to Corey and why he's doing what he's doing. The thing is, it's weird for me because they're not going to tell us what Michael was doing for 4 years. They're not going to tell us. They didn't tell us that. I mean, obviously they're not going to tell us what makes Michael, and I felt like we kind of were learning a little bit of what Michael not killing obviously made him weaker over those 4 years. And as Corey was feeding him, after Michael kind of put the evil inside him, when he looked in his eyes, when they both interlocked eyes with each other, I felt like that was the moment where Corey turned a little bit and he got worse and worse over he killed his mother. I mean, he murdered a lot of people. It's weird to see someone else in a Michael Myers costume knowing that it's Corey and he's killing all these people and it's not Michael. And how much justice do you put into it, and how much are you happy about that? Even though he's dressed as Michael Myers, does it count as can you put too much love into it? It was a weird feeling because we've never seen this before. But like I said, I watched it twice, and I started to make sense of it. I totally get it. And when Michael was pretty much done with Corey, that was pretty much it. Twisted his neck and kind of got rid of him after he was fully revived. He used Corey, pretty much. Michael used Corey when he was at his most vulnerable and weakest state. And that's pretty much about it. I mean, if I was to put this movie at a 10 and kind of put it on a point, right, I would say it's a 7.5 out of 10. And that's really good. Still a solid movie to watch. I think it's a solid movie to watch. There's cinematography, dialogue, what Michael Myers pretty much, the second scene with Michael Myers stabbing, Corey holding the guy down and him stabbing the cop a million times and kind of, shaking and reviving himself. And he was just going through this thing where is Michael getting stronger, because he's killing, because this, I really liked that part a lot. I thought that was a really fun part to watch. Like I said, Michael was great in it, as much as we didn't get much Michael Myers. And I understand this is Halloween. I'm not here to see Laurie Strode. I'm here to see Michael Myers. That's the main. Even though I love Laurie, love her, but seeing Michael Myers is why we pay this much money to go to the movies, and why we watched this franchise for so long. It's for Michael Myers at the end of the day. Like Corey Cunningham's character, but it just wasn't enough for me. It just 2 hours of this movie was enough. Throwing a brand new character into this film was not a fantastic idea, but I actually liked him a lot because I was feeling for him from the beginning of the film until he got evil, and I was like, okay, now you're too much, bro. And why Michael dragged him into the sewer, why Michael is not even conversating with him. Michael's that weak. Why they make Michael that weak in this film. And I understand, like, there's reasons. I'm starting to understand why they did it, but I want to know more about Corey Cunningham's past, more of Corey Cunningham and why he's feeling the way he's feeling mentally. What did Michael do to him? I mean, there's just nothing. They're probably not going to tell us. I mean, that's the main thing. I think the Laurie Strode-Michael fight was definitely a big one there. So a 7.5 out of 10 with those few things I liked. And obviously, that death scene of Michael Myers really bothered me a little bit. That took off probably. This would have been an 8.5 if there wasn't a death scene like that. The movie would have been a lot higher. But because of that really bothered me a bit. But you got to take this film not as a standalone. You have to see it as, does it connect to Kills? Does it connect to Halloween 2018? How does it look as in a trilogy? I think it fits really well. Okay, with flaws. Kills has flaws. 18 has flaws. They all have flaws. Ends has probably the most flaws out of both of those films, but I think it's still a really good piece to watch. I sat there and enjoyed myself, and I enjoyed it. I mean, that's it. I really did enjoy it. So, 7.5 score for this film. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. If I probably missed a million things. I'm just trying to get through a very long review because I love this franchise. It'd be a lot shorter, but I kind of want to explain everything. Please let me know in the comment section below what you guys think, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.